Rishi Sunak is considering a summer general election because he fears the US presidential vote will hand a major publicity coup to Nigel Farage. Fears about an influx of cross-channel crossings could also drive the Prime Minister to hold an election in June or July, a senior Downing Street insider revealed. And allies fear he could face a confidence vote by Conservative MPs if the party loses hundreds of councillors when it defends 989 seats in local elections on May 2. Mr. Sunak has said his working assumption is a general election will take place in the second half of this year, and Levelling Up Secretary Michael Gove has named November 14 or 21 as likely dates. But one of Mr. Sunak's top aides revealed there is concern in number 10 about the US election on November 5, when former President Donald Trump will take on incumbent Joe Biden. Brexit-backing politician Nigel Farage, former leader of Reform, has a close relationship with Mr. Trump, and it is thought he will enjoy a high profile as a Trump ally whose views are sought by the media. Conservatives believe there is a path to victory at the general election, but it requires winning back former Tory voters who have switched to Reform, which currently has the support of around 11% of voters according to polling by eIection. The source said, "There are good reasons not to wait until the winter. The US elections are one, because it will provide a huge boost to Nigel Farage's profile, which helps Reform. A second concern is the potential for another influx of small boat crossings once the weather improves, even though legislation allowing the removal of asylum seekers to Rwanda is likely to pass into law in April." The main argument for delaying the general election is to provide time for the message that the economy is improving to sink in, according to those close to Rishi. A 2p cut to national insurance comes into effect on April 6, increasing take-home pay for many workers in addition to the 2p cut implemented in January. Insiders believe the Tories could remain in power if they start the election campaign as much as 10 points behind Labour. Historically, the governing party makes gains during the election campaign, said the source. But Conservatives are bracing themselves for the loss of up to half their council seats in May 2 local elections, and are likely to lose a by-election Blackpool South on the same day, following the resignation of former MP Scott Benton. Allies of Mr. Sunak fear that the threshold of 52 no-confidence letters could be reached following the polls, leading to a vote of all Conservative MPs on whether to remove the Prime Minister. Those pushing for Mr. Sunak to go have touted Commons leader Penny Sunak as a potential unity candidate to replace him, though her allies insist she is not part of any plot. However, there is growing support for Priti Patel, who has stayed out of the party's internal battles since quitting as Home Secretary in 2022.